Leonardo AI is the new kid on the AI block, and it's rivaling Midjourney for the quality of images it's producing. Just take a look at some of these beautiful worlds, fantastic pixelated character design, and these mesmeric, surreal landscapes. I'm going to show you how to get set up with Leonardo as quickly as possible and start exploring this new player in the game. So, step 1, come to Leonardo.ai, go to the top right hand corner and click on Get Early Access. From here, we're going to enter our email address and click on Count Me In. We come to our email and we see this email that we've got from Leonardo. Welcome, thanks for signing up for early access. And what you have to do now is join the Discord server from the email that you receive the message to. So click the link in the message and you'll be taken to Discord. Here you'll be prompted to choose a username or log in with your existing Discord account. After this, you enter your date of birth. Finish up by entering your email and claim your account. After this, there is a short onboarding section where you can define what you're going to use Leonardo for. So what will you do with our AI? Game assets, have fun, or art? Oh ho ho, I'm gonna have fun. Hey, this is gonna be great. What type of creator are you? You can select what that applies to yourself. And finally, select another. Here it explains that Leonardo is a separate application and it does not run in Discord like Midjourney. So click yes and go to finish. Finally, we have to come on the left hand side down to the chat, introductions, underneath general, and you're gonna have to introduce yourself. If you can't see the box, make sure that you've verified your email. And then it also may ask you to wait 10 minutes before you can introduce yourself into this chat. Once you've waited your 10 minutes, you can enter your information into the Discord chat. Say, hello, I'm new here. Now you can sit back and wait until you receive an email. This can take anything from an hour or two to a couple of days because they're letting people in batches, so they send out a huge batch of emails in one go. Finally, you're going to get an email telling you that you've been whitelisted, and it will look like this. From there, you can go to the Leonardo app and log in with your whitelisted account. Leonardo has marketed itself with a focus on game asset design, but that's not all it's capable of. What I love about Leonardo is its user-friendly interface. Compare this to perhaps the most popular web UI for Stable Diffusion, Automatic 1111s, and you can see that it's much easier to navigate. So when you first arrive at Leonardo.ai, you'll be able to select which model you want to start using. This is the dataset that the AI art generator has been trained with, and it has a number of different options. Deliberate is a powerful model that is great for photorealism and artistic creations. There are different models for different use cases, specifically vintage style photography, role-playing games, anime, paper art styles like Japanese origami, illustration, and many, many more. To select the model you want to use, all you have to do is click on it and go to generate with this model. So you can see here that the UI is much easier to navigate than the overwhelming feature-burdened version of Automatic 1111s. It also has a more visual experience than that of Midjourney's Discord chat UI. And all you have to do is enter your prompt here. I've selected the isometric fantasy model, and I'm going to type in Monument Valley style tower, which is a classic isometric game that I enjoyed. Next up, you can add Leonardo to style or not. This defines whether you want Leonardo to add its own unique aesthetic additions. And after that, you can define a negative prompt, which is anything that you don't want to include. So the prompt is what you do want, the negative prompt is what you don't want. For example, I can click on yes, and I can type in colors or objects. And next up, the other option is prompt magic. This is a feature Leonardo are experimenting with in refining how much an image represents the prompt that you put in. You can leave that off for now. Now, an important thing to note is that Leonardo gives you a very reasonable free allowance of 250 tokens a day. You use up different amounts of tokens depending on the parameters that you choose to generate your images. So for instance, this will cost me 3 tokens and every day you get 250. So you can go ahead and generate and you're going to get yourself out an image. I've elaborated on my prompt a little bit and added in a few more defining words. Monument Valley game, isometric style, Arabian tower. And now you'll get your images generated. Take a look at some of these, they're looking pretty good. Once you open it up, you have the option to delete the image, download it, or unzoom. What unzoom does is it starts to paint around the image and extend it. You can see here that it's elaborated on these cliffs, started to introduce some more depth at the bottom of the image. And it's great if you've got an image and you want to essentially outpaint from the center to enlarge the scene. This was a tool that was originally made popular in DALL. You can also remove the background inside of Leonardo, which if you're working on a game asset or a sticker or a GIF or an icon is a great tool for speeding up your process. This costs a single token. You can also upscale the image, which increases the resolution. This costs a single token, but it may change some of the details inside of your image. There is also an alternative upscaling algorithm that you can try using, which is Upscale Image Alternate. And to download, all you have to do is click on the downward pointing arrow. Now that's how you generate images inside of Leonardo, and you might be wondering what all of these other features are on the left hand side. Well, the first row defines how many images you generate at a time, and this affects the amount of credits that you're going to be using. The second option is the image dimensions, which is defining the aspect ratio and the detail of your original creation. Everything from 512 up to 1024. You'll find these sliders as well, so you can easily adjust the width and the height. You can also use the drop down to select specific popular aspect ratios, but you have a range from 512 all the way up to 1536. The next option is guidance scale, which is how strongly your prompt is weighted and how much influence the algorithm and the model has on defining your work. After this, we have step count. A higher step count may result in more detail, but it does take longer to render. So it's the idea of the number of steps that are taken between the original noise that starts off the model generation to the end product. Next up, we have tiling, which is your ability to take the image and lay it in a grid so that it matches up perfectly. This is great for patterns or backgrounds or for seamless textures. The final option that we have here is image to image, which allows us to insert an image and use that as a prompt. So to do that, all you have to do is click on upload, select your image that you want to use, and you can select a few options here. The first is pose to image, which helps you maintain consistent poses between images, and also the init strength, which defines how much of the original image you preserve and how much it changes. Then when you're ready, you can go ahead and generate again with these new settings. This is one area where you have a lot more control over the image definition process than Midjourney, and it's done a great job at not overwhelming you with every single feature possible to use, as well as naming them clearly and giving good user interface elements to control them. Leonardo is a game changer in taking the features of Stable Diffusion and infusing them into a useful web UI, as well as offering a very friendly free limit for users. If you come back to the home section of Leonardo by clicking on the top left-hand corner on the little arrow, you'll also be able to explore other parts of the website. I particularly like the community feed for finding inspiration of what others in the community have been creating. That's the quickest way to get set up and started in Leonardo. Let me know if you want more Leonardo content, and how do you find it compares to Stable Diffusion and Midjourney. Make sure to watch this video next, and thanks for watching.